Hi, everybody. This is SAAD for the SAAD Truth. I hope that you're having a good long weekend. Happy holidays to whomever celebrates either Passover or Easter. I thought that since today happens to be April Fool's Day, that I would read for you an excerpt from either a real postmodern paper or it's just an April Fool's whereby I generated a postmodern paper using a random POMO generator. So, is it April Fool's or is it a real paper? So here we go. So the title of the paper is You Make Me Feel Right Queer, Quare, Promiscuous Reading, Minoritarian Critique, and White Sovereign Entrepreneurial Terror. So I'll start with the intro. In this article, I theorize the deployment of white fragility and white vulgarity as recurrent and conjoined signs of the presence and imminent threat of violent terror against non-white peoples in the United States. The aesthetic, effective form into which these signs congeal is a motile, at times nonsensical phenomenon that I name white sovereign entrepreneurial terror, a genre that draws its logic from the history of the consolidation of whiteness vis-a-vis blackness and settler colonialism. White sovereign entrepreneurial terror is an affective structure energized by a logic of white repair and white revenge that is too easily dismissed as external to politics by those who still invested in the idea of a rational public/political sphere because of that structure's uncivil aesthetic codes, which include fantastic narratives of white bodily sovereignty played out in outrageous, seemingly comedic displays of salesmanship. White sovereign entrepreneurial terror is marked by an aggressive anti-facticity and irrationality whose freedom from any reality principle promises an immediate relation between desire, will, and outcome that leans heavily on the Malthusian and entrepreneurial necropolitics of liberal capital. White sovereign entrepreneurial terror sounds and feels like relief and entertainment to a white population whose very sense of selfhood and power has been seemingly threatened by the work of progressivism and civil government. Thus, it is an aesthetic and affective genre that reasserts itself in such a way that feels like fun for whiteness, but codes as terror for everyone else. Finally, white sovereign entrepreneurial terror is a political aesthetic and narrative form born in the free market logics of late 19th century snake oil salesmanship, in the particular formation of free market bio and necropolitics that emerged from racial slavery and settler colonialism that adheres to and promises whiteness as property to those whom it will ultimately swindle. As I hope to show here across multiple scales of analysis, white sovereign entrepreneurial terror weds the logic of capital to the privileged property of whiteness, making entrepreneurialism and whiteness coeval terms predicted upon a biopolitical logic that mets out death and propertylessness, hunger and debility as natural outcomes for those against whom whiteness is wielded. So, April Fool's joke or paper published in one of the top journals of postmodernism? You decide. Have a good long weekend, everybody. Cheers.